So you talked about Gary Fuller, and most people would say Gary's done a good job. I certainly would. I imagine. Well, you did a little while
Yes,
ago.
sir.
Is there anything you think that the new mayor, regardless of who it is, should do differently?
I mean, Mayor Fuller has done a great job for the city of Opelika, as has have Mayor Barbara Patton and Bobby Freeman. In the 21 years that Mayor Fuller has been serving as the top executive in our city, he has created a substantial amount of perpetuity for Opelika, and we're all beneficiaries
Sure.
of that. With that said, I believe that the next mayor has an opportunity to lead from a more civic minded or citizen minded approach,
Hmm.
particularly in the way that information is shared and how feedback is received. We need to be creating space in our community that allows for more community input before the decisions are made rather than afterwards. I also think that the next mayor has. I would like to see them take an opportunity of engaging the full city council. There are times whenever I feel like the information is siloed or we don't have as much as we need at that time to go forward. And sometimes you see that at some of our council meetings, and we'll table something to get more information here or there. But I would like to see more leadership and engagement through the council without feeling like we're stepping on toes or
Mm,
overreaching.
it's a great answer. Um, Along those lines, in terms of communication between the city and the citizens, I think you just said there's room for
Mhm.
improvement. And you talked earlier about appointing citizens to boards. I feel like there's a lot of talent locally that would love to step forward and serve,
Right.
but they don't really know when these things come up. Is there ways that people can be made aware of these opportunities more?
Absolutely. We have 27 boards within the city. I think roughly around 110, positions on boards or
Right.
committees within the city. There is obviously an opportunity there. The number one issue that we run into as council members is whenever someone's term has expired on a board or committee, then the typical thing is to go to that person. Would you like to serve for an additional 3, 4, 2 years, whatever um, it allows, and they usually say yes because they love being a part of
Mm,
the city and doing this. Early on, I had talked about term limits for boards and committees. I know it's an issue that some people like and some people don't like, but I will tell you this: there is a waiting list, and
mm,
last time I checked, it was around 60 names long. And every year we put 20 new names on the list. That comes out of our 20 under 40 program ran by the chamber. I was a part of that program in 2016, 2017. And whenever they complete it, they sign out the volunteer list, tell you get a list of boards and committees, which ones you would most likely to serve on, and then you submit it to the city clerk. And those lists grow and grow and grow. This really came to my attention whenever we had, I would say, a recent graduate of 20 under 40. I think she was around somewhere in 2010. And we just appointed her to her first board a couple years ago. The first board that I served on was the Metropolitan Planning Organization Citizen Advisory Committee. And it's a long name, but it was my very first board. And, we work with the Lee Russell Council of Governments and their planning, their transportation needs. And I enjoy that type of board because I can nerd out on the budget and the numbers and looking at everything. And that's how I got my passion for wanting to serve in municipal government. So I'm an advocate for boards and committees. I have asked many times, talked to the mayor about it. President Smith, I've talked to him numerous times about it. And I believe that it would be fruitful for our community because that is the way we get people's foot in the door. For them to better understand how our community works rather than, we need to do this better, we need to do that better. It allows a hyper focused look into whatever board that they're on, which is a niche in our community that helps it all flourish. And I think those opportunities are great. And what I worry the most about is someone, what would have happened if there weren't any opportunities for me to serve on the MPO?
Right.
And where else would we have looked? If there are no opportunities here and people have the passion for it, they're going to seek it elsewhere. And we're going to have that issue with trying to keep people in our community. And additionally, we have people that have been serving 25 years on some of these boards. And that's a long time for one voice. And I know that we have the want and the need for it. And I just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can from a city council perspective to provide the opportunity for people to serve in these capacities.
I mean, if somebody's been doing it for 25 years, I guess I'd rather see them step aside and put a 25-year-old in that seat, get some youthful energy and innovative ideas.
It's tough. I mean, because you're trying to navigate this from understanding that this person wants to serve and they have the education and know how to do it, but for that person to gently be like, okay, well, can we do this? And I've tried to get some people on some boards and maybe asking someone to roll off, and it turns bad, and that person is just more entrenched to be there. And I send a email on an anniversary every year to one of my constituents, and the anniversary email is, "I'm still working on this for you," because we're still trying to get her appointed to the Opelika Industrial Development Authority, which is a big board. Which is a big board, but she has the understanding, she has the education, she's worked in industry, and patiently waiting. But those, I remember all that. I try to make sure people know that just because it's not right now doesn't mean it's never.
Right. I guess what some boards will do with somebody who's been long serving is roll them into an emeritus role, where they can still attend the meetings, participate in the discussions, but they're ex officio and they don't vote. So you're not disenfranchising them, you're keeping them involved, but you're creating an opportunity for somebody else.
Right. Absolutely. And it creates more, just more diversity, more everyone. We have, we used to be a community where a lot of people, had been here for a long time or had lived there all their lives. But just the way that technology, transportation, and everything grows, we have more people that are coming here from outside. I mean, for Allie and I, we are ingrained in this community, but we were not born and raised here. We understand that. That's a tough nut to crack. But I think the trust in what we do and the products that we have put out and the areas of the community that we have served, I think that is goodwill. And we know that we are ambassadors for other people that come after us.
Cool.